Last time on
Counsel of Clowns. He truly brought the barbershop to a podcast. He did. The 85 South Boys is the epitome of a barbershop. It's the epitome of the block. It's the epitome of it. If you bring that, Charlamagne, and those are your niggas, you brought them on the podcast mad times. You've had them on the Breakfast Club mad times. They are ill niggas, man. The main thing you gotta do though is you need to bring they're the piece you're missing when it comes to your Arsenio Hall type show you want to do. They're the missing piece. I'ma tell you that now. What's going on, man? It's your man C Dot, man. And Season 1, Episode 3 of Counsel of Crowns. Like we talking a little bit about basically the media critics. Or the media, like I say, the hip hop media, mainly music media, but hip hop media, in the space and what's going on and how many people are truly taking part in this and how it's been growing. But we're gonna get to all that, but when we start with it, it's like basically when you think about hip hop media, who do we think about? I'm sure everybody will think of different things and have different points of views and have different, people to who is top of hip hop media, music shows, podcasts all come into play, YouTube series, different other streaming services, but when you think about it, like it's really only three names you can mention, some, and I'm not just talking about. We could talk about some backed by companies like, like I said, the Elliott Wilsons, the B Dots, the Noris, like, we got them out there, Hot 97 as a whole, like, there's so many people out there, Big Boy and LA, and, like, and all the independent YouTubers out there, like, I see y'all, like I'm I'm in the same lane, but when you think about media critics, like, when you think about MCs, as I like to call them, whether it's media critics, media correspondents, like it's even media commentators. Like it's only really three you think of, basically. Like who's the greatest MC? Charlamagne, Joe Budden, or Ack. That's what you just in this era of media, like media commentators and media critics, like I like to call them, media correspondents, like that's the big three. No matter how you want to flip it, no matter what companies behind who, no matter if you talk about, like I said, the Breakfast Club, Hot 97, Big Boy. When we talk about outlets of hip hop, it's three names you think of who are on top, and that's Charlamagne, Joe Budden, or Ack. It's just simple as that. That's the big three. And we all know like that it's a play off the line. Like I'm saying, who's the biggest MC? I'm not talking about master of ceremony. Like I'm not talking about like what the whole line was. So who's the biggest MC? Like Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas. Like in this era, when comparing these three, I feel like it's better to do the new era. It's better to really talk about the new era because it's the new era of media as well. So we got to talk about the new era of MCs. Who's the biggest MC when it comes to, they say now Drake, Kendrick, or Cole. And I think both those three, comes to Drake, Kendrick, and Cole, line up perfectly with Charlamagne, Joe, and Ack. And it's really not who you think. Probably most people, I'm sure, would say, Joe Budden is the Drake of this generation, of media now. You couldn't be furthest from the truth with that. Like, it's just, they just like to pair each other up, probably because they light skin. I don't know. Probably something, who knows? Or they got a relationship. The Drake of this, or because he's very impactful right now. But the real Drake of this situation when it comes to media, MCs, if you want to compare it, when it comes to medias, is Charlamagne. And that's just it. Like, we gotta go back to not, everyone likes to start at Breakfast Club like he wasn't doing shit before that. That's what they like to start at. We can go back, like I said, to the Wendy Williams situation. He's a sidekick. Where that's what they looked at as Drake for Wayne. His sidekick. He's the guy. He's gonna be that guy, but he's a sidekick to Wayne. Everybody can say that. And when he went on, after that situation, the Wendy situation, going to Philly, he did the Beanie Siegel interview, like he got fired, and then he had a couple things out there, but Breakfast Club was his, the Breakfast Club's winning the training wheels when he just took off. And like I said, Charlamagne's had the consistency. It's been over 10 years. People like to say a decade. He's been doing this thing for it's been 15 plus. It's been 15 plus. And he's just basically been the most consistent and the most on top when it comes to, no matter if you don't like him with certain topics, no matter if he doesn't talk about hip hop a lot, and we'll get to that, like if he doesn't talk about rap enough, if he's just like Drake, he's the Swiss Army knife. He's the guy who can do it all. Drake can sing, rap, and do melodies, like he can do his thing. Charlamagne, he can dibble and dabble, he can talk hip hop. No matter what you feel about him talking hip hop, he could talk politics, he could talk about social issues, he could talk about anything you want to talk about in a room full of intellectuals, in a room full of anybody. He might not be the smartest nigga in that room, but his impact's gonna be felt. And that's just a fact. Point blank. You know what I mean? That's what happens. That's why Charlamagne is truly, the Drake of this shit. He is the top guy. He is the top guy. No matter, like I said, impactfully in other areas, we could say Joe is. And then that gets to, Joe Budden. And Joe Budden obviously is, he's Kendrick Lamar. That's who he is. At the core, he's hip hop, man. At the core, Joe Budden is hip hop. That's who he is. That's what he does. That's when he talks about hip hop, you can tell it's a different type of, like when you want to say like somebody's playing basketball, somebody's playing football, and depending on what position they play, if you see an offensive guy out there and he played both ways in high school, you see an offensive guy get out there and he might be running a little lackadaisical. On defense, he might be running, he's cool, but on offense, he gets off and he starts. You see his eyes, you see the fire in his eyes. That's Joe with hip hop. Like he can play other positions. He could talk about other things, especially when it comes to therapy, and he talks about it in a natural way, about therapy and things going on in the world, especially when it comes to just regular shit, regular Joe shit. It could be relationships, it could be friendships, or relationships or friendships, like it could be about anything going on in the world, and he'll have an opinion that, it'll make you think, but when he's in his bag, it's dealing with hip hop. He's Kendrick Lamar, for real. Kendrick, that's who we know Kendrick as, and he's a purist, the same as Joe. Kendrick Lamar is more impactful in hip hop, in the art of it. All the hip hop heads respect him. Some still go back and forth with Drake. Like he's deemed to have more classic content and respect for the culture in hip hop. That's the same as Joe. People make arguments all the time as Kendrick, like hip hop. They make the argument about Kendrick being bigger than Drake, which it isn't that, but it's just one form that he doesn't let us down. Kendrick doesn't let us down. In this form, when it comes to Joe Budden's podcast, like State of Culture's cool. I feel like they need a lot of work with that. And when they come back, I'm sure they do that. I think they do need an audience. I saw them talk about that on the Breakfast Club. They do need an audience. They need that. Like they need a producer to put things well together. With not only the audience, the topics, but so many other things that it doesn't really even matter to get into right now. That's for a whole nother show. But when it comes to Joe Budden, he's the purist. And when he talks hip hop, people listen for real. They've been listening ever since Everyday Struggle. And that goes, like I said, it goes perfectly right, segues right into, the third guy of this big three. and that's Akademiks. You know what I mean? The Cole of the bunch. Kendrick and Cole, they used to be, when we talking about getting an album from them. They were best friends. They did mad records together. Like, that was Joe and Cat. That's Joe and Ak. It segues perfectly. It goes and fits. The puzzle piece fits perfect. And Akademiks as the Cole of the bunch, people probably gonna look at that shit like, what the fuck? What the fuck you mean Akademiks is Cole? Just talking about the person. Just talking about, oh, he don't talk about that. Nah, man. No. It's not about that. Like, Ak is on top. He has been dominant. He is dominant. But just like Cole, we see more potential he could have. At least I do. I see way more potential Akademiks could have. Like, he does everyday struggle shit. If you compare it, basically, just like, his mixtape shit is better than his albums. When it comes to Akademiks, like, his YouTube series, his Twitch channel is better than Everyday Struggle. It just is. Ever since Joe left, the dynamic, the chemistry is cool. It's informative. Like, I like Wayno on there. I always like Nadeska, man. She's a great moderator. Like, and I feel like she's more than that, but that's the role she plays, but it's just not the same. Like, Akademiks and Joe Budden, they could have had a show that was legendary. I feel like that. It seems like Everyday Struggle now is just a stopgap. And that's how I feel about J. Cole's albums. Like, the majority of them, like, especially he got some good albums. But you don't feel that feel. You don't feel that same fire from him. He doesn't even rap, like I said, doing all his own producing. He has a lot of things where it's like, just have a producer sit down with you and you create. You don't got to do everything yourself. You ain't got to do this, that, and the third. That's my critique of J. Cole, and it's always been my critique that, they like to have the little Twitter joke of him being boring, this, that, and the third. It's not just that. It's not that, really. It's the emphasis. He's not really, he raps with more passion on features than he does his own shit. Like, he likes to do the artistic storytelling shit, but it's no real, like I said, the production and certain directions it doesn't piece together. It's like a movie with just loophole after loophole or trying to, put it together, man. Put the story all the way together. But it's not even about J. Cole, it's just relating it. It's relating it to who I feel like is the number 3 of the big 3, Akademiks. Get your shit together when it comes to your big body albums. Your big body, whether it's Everyday Struggle, whether I feel like you should do another YouTube series that holds no balls, holds no punches. Like, get back to your shit, man. Get back to creating. Like, your Twitch shit, props to you. You said on one of your streams you got the Twitch deal, and I love that. But it's time to create for real. It's time to make a universe. It's time to make a universe. Ak still has the potential to be so great because he has the younger generation, right? Charlamagne and Joe Budden fighting for the same. They're fighting for the same views of fans, the same constituents. That's who they fighting for. You know what I mean? So, of course, like, it's always going to be a love-hate relationship with Charlamagne and Joe, even though they love each other, even though they advise each other, even though it's competition, man. And that's what it should be, man. I'm old enough, like, for that, like, some little niggas nowadays, they don't, everybody, kumbaya. No, man. There's competition at the end of the day. Everyone wants to be great. Even someone like me, love to work with some of these guys. Of course. You know what I mean? But I always want to be great at what I do. And if you could take different pieces from each person or people you respect, that's great. But you always want to be great at what you do. That is it. Charlamagne is great. Joe's great. Akademiks has been great, but like I said, he has a whole different demographic. He fucks with the littles. The littles fuck with him. The younger generation fucks with him. He got an NBA YoungBoy interview in the can, and like I said, that's the young generation. But I feel like he just has to do more, man. His fans all the way, when it comes to Akademiks, I feel like aren't all the way fully grown mentally. Like you'll have someone making the jokes, have someone doing the trolling shit, the instigators, like like everybody does, but some Act fans are almost like the world star commenters. They just be saying whatever, and a lot of them go with what he says. A lot of them. Some go against him, which I fuck with. That's good. Unbiased is the best type of fans to have. They call you on your shit. You know what I mean? But they can be easily swayed and manipulated. But it's a powerful group. It's a powerful group. Like, you get them on your side and they're the future of this world. But at the end of the day, you gotta guide them, man. Act has to guide them. Like, Act has a lot. I'm not telling no grown man to be grown, but if Act moves in a certain type of way, to where, like I said, he can be himself again. Not just everyday struggle Act, but streaming Act, YouTube series Act. Dude, you can do a YouTube series and putting other niggas on, and have them do. You can make a universe. It's time to make your company, man. It's time to set off and make your own company, man. Have other niggas interviewing, have other niggas creating content, putting them on there, doing like how you did the Chirac series. You did that back in the day. You get a lot of flack for it, man. And I understand the flack you get for that. But imagine if someone else was doing that. Imagine if I say you have a lot of people, your assistant, like you have a lot of people who work for you, who really not, they on the low a little bit, but they I should just feel like it's not about putting people on, it's just making more avenues for you. It all benefits you at the end of the day. All of it. But why not, instead of doing you want to sign an artist, sign this, do whatever you want with that. That's cool, but why not start your own YouTube series? Your whole YouTube universe. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the obvious play. Like, you can mold the fan base to whatever you fit, and it's why if Act actually starts truly putting a stamp on his core values out there and really go in depth with more people than just his chat niggas alone. Put your chat niggas on. Have them doing YouTube series for you. Have them being part of your universe. But they have to reach out to others. It's not just about putting your chat niggas on to certain shit. Have your chat niggas put niggas on to certain shit. Have them have their own platforms. He will be a problem. Because he'll have the young. He'll have all of the young. He'll be a problem, like I said, for even Charlamagne and Joe Budden. And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't think that. Like, that's what I have to say about Act. Like, he's the Cole. And like I said, Cole has a potential still now to be like, to overtake a lot. I guess with Cole's stance, though, he just really doesn't want to. I feel like. That's how I look at it. He wants to live his life, and I get it, man. Act wants to, man. He wants to be that guy. He doesn't fuck with niggas. He don't fuck with the industry. He don't fuck with the industry parties except for Drake. We know he fucks with Drake. We saw, we saw the stream of him. We saw the stream of him, doing a little too much, with the Drake situation. He passed out. He passed out, like, doing all that for Drake. That's on him. And it seemed like the only thing I say watch out about is, Drake seemed like he was hyping it. Drake, he's not laughing with you, my nigga. I know you was drunk, but he's not laughing with you. It's almost like a Dave situation. Everybody watch that show, Dave? Comes on FX, it's on Hulu. You can watch on show Dave. His friends, he thought his whole life his friends were hyping him. He thought he was almost like the class clown in a way where they were laughing with him. He was laughing at him. That's what Drake was doing with you, dog. If you look back at it, that's what Drake was doing with you. So I understand why you don't have any friends, this and third, but you can be a fan of somebody and not be a fan of somebody, if that makes sense. Like, be a fan, but it's no need to, it just looks, it's so off to me as a man to someone fan. And I know it's satire, some of the shit, it's jokes, but man, it just, like I said, they're laughing at you, man. They're not laughing with you. So fuck them. Do your job, man. Do what you need to do. Have your sources. I know you have sources with Drake. Like, I know you said a lot of things dealing with Drake that if you really understand double talk, you know some of the things he said that Drake said. And I'll give it a quick example. Like, on one of his streams, he said that he had a conversation with somebody saying that Lil Baby was almost like Wayne to him. That he had a Wayne, he's having a Wayne type run. If you really think of the context and how he was saying that shit, Akademiks was obviously talking about Drake in that situation. That was obvious. Like, that's something he didn't put on record. You're not gonna see that nowhere. No one's saying that, but I understand how things go. I understand the double talk. I can read between the lines, and that's fine. You have your conversations in your relationship with Drake. You get it. I get it. He's your favorite artist. But these niggas, they laughing at you, man, and that's fine. Like I said, I know a lot of it's satire and jokes, but dog, create your own universe. That's my advice to Act. Create your own universe. Like, you have your platforms. They're all you. Just like Joe Budden has his platform when it comes to his podcast. Charlamagne now has his YouTube page that he's doing. You know, he was a little late to that party when it came to that. You know, I remember Charlamagne saying a lot of things that he has taken back. Maybe not publicly, but he switched views. That's with anybody. But I remember when he was dissing, like, the likes of Maul and Rory because they didn't have any experience. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't have any experience when he's kind of doubled back with that now. He's kind of retracted that now. Not with them, of course, because they go at it. Maul and Charlamagne go at it. You know, I don't know why, but... Well, I know why. But... And I'm not mad at why. I'm not mad at Charlamagne for that. You know what I mean? But... He acted like, you know, you had to have some type of experience in radio. When that's not what it is now. You can have a mind of your own and just say your views and you good with that. And it's good with that. If people fuck with you. And he's kind of like went against that now. He doesn't say that anymore. But that was a thing a year ago. I don't even know if that was a year ago. But I think it was. I don't remember. My watches, you can tell me about that. But everyone's learned from mistakes they've made. Everyone's learned from shit. Charlamagne just put out a thing on episode 2 dealing with Charlamagne. I feel like he's gearing up, man. 2021, he's gearing. I feel like he's getting his late night talk show. Like I said, I feel like he should do it with the 85 South show, man. Them boys, they wicked, man. They do their thing. They ill. You know, they'd be great partners in that, great co-hosts in that. You know, but he's getting, regardless of that, he's gearing up for his Arsenio Hall type show. He's gearing for 2021. Whether he leaves the Breakfast Club or not. Joe Budden is gearing up. He's gearing up for September. He always bringing that data when he's done with Spotify. Who knows where he can go with that? It might not be Spotify. It could be somewhere, another streaming service. You never know. And not only just a streaming service and music, I mean, but it could be a Netflix. It could be a Hulu. You never know. The world is a possibility for anything when it comes to that. When it comes to them, really, anything is possible. For real. Kevin Garnett said it best. And all I'm saying at the end of the day is Ak. I know Ak is gearing up. He said he's had a lot of things come. He has some shows coming. He has other content. He has the Twitch deal. I get it, but Ak, man, you have to use your universe that you have, man. Twitch is your universe. YouTube is your universe. Use them, niggas. Use them. Use your chat, niggas, man. Find out who can talk. I said it's a guy on his chat called Lil Boom. Like, I'm sure the chat niggas know about that. I'm sure they know him personally, but funny nigga, man. Funny nigga. I don't know, like, he's a rapper, he does meme rap, he does certain other type of rap. He doesn't really give a fuck, I feel like, about, you know, that type shit or the industry. That's the best type nigga you put on. That's the best type nigga you put on when it comes to the first nigga to create your own universe in. The first nigga he could be judging whatever. He could be judging albums. He could be judging anything, his take. And you could be doing it with them for the first, like, week first couple of weeks. But create a platform around him. This is your universe. Your chat niggas are your universe. So use them. Use them. Just don't use them and pick up a guy and make songs with him and this and the third. You know how hard that is. I get it, but use what you already capable of doing. Use your platforms. Use your YouTube shit. Use your Twitch shit. Put niggas on. Find other niggas who are capable of talking and judging some shit and can play good roles. And put them niggas on, man. That's all I'm saying, man. Like, it's a big three out there when it comes to MCs, media critics, media correspondents. It's a big three. And each of them in the next 5 years, I feel like can overtake the other. I feel like that's a possibility for all of them, man, for different reasons that I said. So it's like, yo, watchers, man. It's your man C Dot, man. Like I said, counsel, crowns, I'm just giving my counsel to the people. I'm giving my counsel to these guys. Like I said, I feel like they're the greatest MCs out right now. Charlamagne, Joe, and Ak. You know what I mean? And they all can change, I feel like, media when it comes to hip-hop. They've all already changed media when it comes to hip-hop. Joe Budden with his podcast style, everyone does a podcast like that now. Everyone does that. I've seen people, their style of even just talking when they come in, not even saying go or having a start. Like, people have taken that style. I'm not saying he's the originator and the founder, but when it comes to the space he is, we have to call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? We got to call a spade a spade. Charlamagne. Oh, man. It's nothing to even be said about Charlamagne. He's the leader of the pack, man. No matter who's more impactful right now, no matter what platform is more impactful right now, Charlamagne can stand alone with any of them niggas. With anyone out. Charlamagne can stand alone. And that's the thing about him. You can put him in a room with whoever, man. He's doing his shit. You know what I mean? He does his research. That's the two different things about, I feel like, Joe and Charlamagne, to be honest. Is like, Charlamagne does his research and he does it well, and sometimes it can seem a little forced out there. You know what I mean? But he's always on point. Even if it seems forced to the media eye, like someone like me, to the critic eye. I can see the forced shit. I can see it's not as compelling sometimes, but in a room full of more than one person, oh, it's what you need to be. That's what you need to be. Joe, he wings it a lot. Joe, he has his shit, you know, but that's what we love about Joe Budden. Yeah, I mean, he winging shit. That's what we love the most, you know, but he needs to work, I feel like, more on being more precise, being more contrived, like when it comes to boom. And still have your shit where you flying random shit, your scatterbrain, and because that's what we love about him. That's what we love about the podcast and going in any direction. They might have talking points. They might have a direction they want to go, but even when they talk about it, it seems so natural. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, watches. I'm telling you, man, see that the critic watches. Man, this is the MC critic talk. This is the media critic talk, man. And it's like, all these people out here, yo, they made a difference, man. They made a difference. And tell me in the comments, man. Tell me in the comments who you think is, you know, like I said Charlamagne's Drake. When it comes to this shit, comparing him to the biggest MCs out right now. Joe Budden is Kendrick and J. Cole is Ak. Tell me who else. It doesn't even gotta be music. Tell me what other big three you can even compare them to. I don't care if it's music, sports, politics. Who gives a fuck, man? Tell me what other big three you compare them to, or if it's in an order. If Ak's first to you. If Joe's first to you. Which I know I'll probably get a lot of people saying. And your reasons why. Like, and that's it, man. That's another episode of Counsel of Crowns, man. Giving my take on the culture, you know. Like I said, see that the critic, man. See that the counsel, man. Until next time, man. Same watches. Keep watching. You know what I mean? Same season, different episode, man.